So when December came around, we had no deals like that were in our pipeline, no listings coming up that we knew of. When it came down to it, we did an awful lot of work and didn't generate many actual signed listings. Okay, great, yeah, we're talking to a lot of people, but these are people with some true intent, and we didn't find that the people from the Facebook ads had true intent to sell their house. They're more just tire kickers trying to get, like, we've been looking for somewhere where we can keep our business not just for a year, but for, like, 10 years. For every $1,000 I put in the machine, I get $7,000 out. No, that one's easy. Like, there were 100 leads that came in. You sent us on 20 appointments, and we got 8 listings. There's like 20 people that are going to call you to say that they can get you leads, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be one person that's good, and you guys are that 1 out of 20.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Calcutta, co-founder here at Consistent Listings, and today I am super excited to be interviewing one of my recent successful clients, Ted and Matt. Today we're going to talk about how they went from having nothing in the pipeline in December to now having 8 listings signed and 175k in GCI in the pipeline in 100 days. They've come to join me to talk about how we did do that. Thank you guys for jumping on.
Thanks, Ryan.
Cool. So guys, just to open up the floor, tell me a little bit about like the market you serve, your names, and just how long you guys been in business.
You want to start, Matt?
Yeah, so we're up here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, east coast of Canada. We've been licensed for just about 8 years now. Started our careers off at Royal LePage, currently working at EXP, and yeah, we're loving your leads.
Lovely stuff. Okay, cool. And before like joining us or coming into the program, we obviously, you had your first conversation with us over the phone, and you thought a little bit about us. What were your initial thoughts? Because I imagine the people that are watching this right now are probably at that stage where they've had their first initial contact point with us, or they've reached out to us. What were your initial thoughts before joining?
Well, I initially had the first contact. I talked to one of your fellows. I think he was an Irish guy, and he was tremendous on the phone. So that was one of the first things. He caught me at a time where I was driving home from work, and I was a little zoned out. When he called, he was good, so he kept my attention. So I just kept on testing him. And as realtors, we get called from people every day about leads, and most of the time, I'll know more about the stuff than they are trying to sell, right? But this guy seemed to know his stuff, and we were at a slow point. We had a really busy 2025, and ended up a little burnt out, and so we hadn't been putting the time into prospecting. So when December came around, we had no deals like that were in our pipeline, no listings coming up that we knew of. So we knew it was time to start advertising again. Our previous advertiser, was doing some Facebook ads for us, but the intent just wasn't there. It was getting leads, and the cost per lead was, was okay. But when it came down to it, we did an awful lot of work and didn't generate many actual signed listings. And so that was a huge thing, coming on board with you guys, is that, okay, great, yeah, we're talking to a lot of people, but these are people with some true intent. And we didn't find that the people from the Facebook ads had true intent to sell their house. They're more just tire kickers trying to get like a free valuation, and it wasn't really working, right? So we were really happy to find you guys when we did, and based on our knowledge of online advertising, when we met with you guys a bit and discussed about your theory, your philosophy, we knew that it was worth giving it a shot, and we're really glad we did.
Really cool. Now, you guys have a bit of an interesting experience because you guys have worked with a few companies. You've been around in like working with a few companies in the space. Well, not what companies, but like how many did you try, and how does this compare to what you have tried before?
Yeah. So
go for it, guys.
This would be the third. Well, first of all, for the first 3 or 4 years, tried to figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
Right. And then the first one was YouTube.
Yeah.
And the thing that was good about that is that it was decent intent, but the cost per lead was high, and you know, it hit us at a time when we weren't ready for it. I think we were early to the game for that, and then because the cost per lead was high, cost of the program was higher than we wanted. We didn't feel like we were getting the return. Then we stopped doing that one. Now we did end up selling some houses out of that, but then we figured, okay, well let's try Facebook. The cost per lead was a lot cheaper, but the intent was lower. At the same time, we did some Google pay-per-click, but it was bringing us mostly buyer leads. And if I had to pick now after doing a bunch of buyers last year as well as sellers, I would almost you can't only do sellers, but working with sellers gets us more commission and it gets us less time on the job. And it also creates enough buyer leads from just having listings. So that's something that we haven't even talked about yet, right? Because from these 8 listings that you got us, we're going to get like another, probably 4 or 5 buyer leads from doing open houses, sign calls, people reaching out to the website where the listing is, right? So that's something like, there's 175 GCI just in the listings when we sell them, but then there's probably another 75 GCI as like spin-off from having listings. Like having listings is a huge lead source that sometimes people don't realize.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt, do you want to add to that?
Well, yeah, I guess when we came to you guys, we had a chance to dibble dabble with a few other companies. Big thing is when your leads started to come in, we started booking appointments, right? We'd had enough experience with other systems, understanding what conversion meant, understanding the importance of actually making the phone calls, being respectfully relentless. If you're going to invest in a system like this, you have to understand the system that you're getting into, which is important.
One quick point on that, Matt. The thing that I found was the appointments that they were setting for us were actually people that wanted to sell houses. Do you know what I mean?
Super big. Okay, cool. So out of all the companies then, what made you actually like choose us over all the other companies out there?
Well, I think really what it came down to was that the offering.
Yeah.
You showed us high quality when we spoke. Like Matt, weren't you pretty impressed with the quality of the edits and the ads and the hooks and?
Yeah, the whole package, right? Having me in the ad, we feel like that's had a pretty good impact. You guys had a really nice offering.
Okay. And then in terms of like results, like the 8 listings in 100 days, why do you think the program works so well for you guys?
Well, at the end of the day, we like to sort of add up how much we've spent, on, the setup of the program, how much we've spent on the ad spend, how much we've spent to have the appointment set. And when we can look at it and say, okay, look, we receive like a 6-to-1 or 7-to-1 on our money. For every $1,000 I put in the machine, I get $7,000 out, right? And without counting any of the spin-off from having the listings, we're in that 6 to 7-to-1 range. And, if you throw in a couple buys or a double end on one of these listings, we'll probably getting closer to the 8 or 9-to-1. So really it's, you'd be dumb to say no to it if you're going to get that type of return.
Of course, yeah, of course. And I really want to go stress on the numbers here because you guys, like, out of all the clients that we have, are quite marketing minded. I know you guys have dabbled in a few things like your websites and stuff like that, where you convert 1 in every 20 or 1 in every 100, I should say. What is the number conversion looking like? Roughly, I'm not kind of putting you on the spot here for the leads that we're getting you.
No, that one's easy. Like there were 100 leads that came in. You sent us on 20 appointments, and we got 8 listings.
Very nice. Oh, okay, very simple maths then. Okay, cool. And then you guys, just a silly question from me. Where do you guys think you would be if you hadn't joined the program today?
Well, I mean, like it would be, we'd either be backtracking and trying something else that wasn't great just because we needed to do something. We'd either be spending time trying to learn the system ourselves, and or we would have taken a shot with another company and not had the results, right? So, the fact that we were able to get squared away with you guys, and now, it looks like we'll have another award-winning year. Is what we needed to do, and we've been looking for somewhere where we can keep our business not just for a year, but for 10 years. So hopefully you guys, keep on growing and keep on putting out good ads so that we don't have to search for another marketer, right? Because there's out of every, there's 20 people that are going to call you to say that they can get you leads, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be one person that's good, and you guys are that one out of 20.
I appreciate it. And then the last thing on the company side, how have you found support, getting in contact, reaching out to me, the company, all of that stuff?
Oh, I mean, it's we have a Slack channel that's set up. You respond, always same day, if not within, a couple hours, right? And then there's weekly meetings with the success manager, who goes through the KPIs to make sure that things are going well. And the online school community that you guys created with a weekly coaching call, that's been awesome, just to learn some stuff, because you've got that Rockstar Realtor Randy. Rockstar Realtor Randy. Triple R.
Randy, exactly.
Triple R. Rockstar Realtor Randy. That's his nickname now, Triple R.
Triple alliteration. Yeah, I love that.
Triple R. He does coaching calls, and he's had huge success in a really tough market, right? Because he's out in California, and so
Yes.
to be able to have access to a mind like that, and so you go from learning how, because when you send people on appointments, dude, they need to know how to close these, right? And so if they're not experienced enough, then it's like, oh, I go on this meeting and I didn't get the listing, right? But when you have a process, and when Randy's teaching this process, and you'd be like, oh shit, I can use that at the next listing appointment.
Yep.
It's there's not too much stuff missing, and I'll be the first one to tell you when something comes up that I need, because I'm probably your most demanding customer too.
I love it, guys. I love it. I just want to touch on that point. There are three things, like we said, we've noticed with the whole system of getting leads or clicks to listings, clicks to closings, whatever you want to call it, leads to listings, same thing. Is the one is the lead generation part. We helped you out, guys, with that. The appointment booking part, we have the in-house team for that as well. And then we have the third part, which is the closing the listing. And that's what Ted was talking about here, is just we have coaching calls and how to close listings. Because at the end of the day, if your closing rate is good, you guys didn't really need it too much, your closing rate is already top tier. But if your closing rate needs support, we always got that, because not everyone's used to dealing with people that they don't know.
Yep.
So big part of the program, and it's definitely helped out a lot of people, and I'm glad you guys have got some value from it as well, especially from being quite experienced in the game. Cool. So last question from me, guys, and I'll let you guys be on with your day. Imagine if someone was watching this right now, so someone in your shoes was watching this right now, and they're on the fence about booking an appointment with Harry, Johnny, someone on our team. What would you say to them right now in this position?
Don't wait. Just don't wait. I mean, we are proof that what you're doing works, and we're happy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go on top of that. I always break it down to what does the system, if I'm going to spend X number of dollars in a year, what does the system have to produce for me? And if I'm going to break even or get 2 to 1, they'll be like, that's okay, but you know what? I'm going to move on. But when I can see 6, 7, 8 to 1 on my money, then I know that it's a winner. And the thing is no matter what, almost any system can return one deal in a year, and that covers the cost of it almost, depending on what market you're in, right? So it is, any investment that you make in advertising, there's going to be a little bit of risk in it, right? But the reward for it with you guys is more than worth the risk. So don't wait.
Yeah. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Okay, just to wrap things up, thank you guys, everyone here that's watching right now. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ted, for jumping on this call with me. And guys, if you are interested in working together, then what I want you to do is just scroll down. There should be a calendar page for you just to schedule in a quick time for a call. And on that call, we'll discover, the game plan for you, if this will work for you, because we don't take on everyone, and then how this will work going forward as well. So go ahead, do that right now, scroll down, and you can click the button. We'll see you on that call.